Whatever the weather. Can you guess what this story is all about? Let's find out. Millie's mom pulled into the driveway of her best friend's house. They had been best friends since they were babies. Keisha had just moved house, and this was Millie's first visit to her new home. The drive hadn't taken long, which was good because Millie didn't want her friend to be too far away. Keisha and her mom were waiting at the front door when they arrived. Millie dived out of the car and raced to give Keisha a huge hug. Both moms laughed because the girls had seen each other just the day before at school, but they were acting like they hadn't seen each other for years. The moms headed into the kitchen to catch up as the girls raced upstairs. "You've got to see my new room," Keisha said excitedly. Her new bedroom was huge but was buried under a sea of boxes and clothes. One wall was covered in a new patterned wallpaper, while the other three were waiting to be painted. "Unpacking isn't much fun, but I did find this," Keisha said as she pulled out a big blue photo album. "Our photo album!" gasped Millie. "I thought it was lost." The two friends settled down on the edge of the bed, resting the dusty album across their laps. The first photo was Keisha and Millie happily making a huge sand castle on a sunny beach. They both wore big floppy hats to protect them from the sun. Even in the picture, you could see the thick layer of sun cream their moms had put on. Millie was wearing a pair of bright pink sunglasses, and Keisha wore a pea green swimsuit. "That holiday was so much fun," said Millie as she turned the page. On the next page, there were photographs from their camping trip last year. Both girls wore wellies which were caked in mud. Despite it pouring with rain the whole weekend, they hadn't stopped smiling. Even though they had gone in the spring, it had been very cold, so they had warmed up their clove fingers with delicious hot chocolate made on their campfire. "It was hard keeping the fire alight in all that rain," remembered Keisha. The third page made the girls giggle. There were lots of photos from when it had snowed lots 2 years ago. The school had closed for the day, so Millie and Keisha had been sledging with their dads. They couldn't remember the cold, just how much fun they'd had building snowmen and throwing snowballs at their dads. They had wrapped up warm in coats, hats, gloves, and thick socks to stop their toes turning to icicles. "That was the best day ever," smiled Millie. When Keisha turned the page, they both burst out laughing. The pictures were of the day they flew kites. Well, tried to fly kites. The wind was so strong, it was hard to stand up straight. Comfy woolen jumpers and jeans had kept them warm enough, but their cheeks were rosy red from the wind lashing at them. "It was so funny when your kite got stuck in the tree," giggled Keisha. The last photograph was from just a few weeks ago. The girls had been on a walk with their moms and Keisha's dog, Reggie. The park had been covered in red and orange leaves, and the girls had searched through them for fallen conchers. There had been a thick layer of clouds in the sky blocking the sun and making the day look more like evening. Their moms had insisted that the girls wore layers and a woolen hat. Each but all the running around with Reggie had kept them toasty warm. I hope we can walk Reggie again with you soon, said Millie. That's as far as I've got, said Keisha, closing the album. It's brilliant, Millie smiled. I can't wait to see the next pages when they're done. For the next few hours, Millie and Keisha unpacked boxes of Keisha's clothes. They giggled as they dressed up and acted out the photographs from the album. Before long, Millie's mom called up the stairs and said it was time to go home. Before you go, Keisha said quickly, why don't we something for the next page? They put on as many clothes as they could find and ran downstairs. Keisha's mom took a picture while they posed and giggled. Send me a copy, Millie yelled as the car pulled away the driveway. Don't worry, I'll bring one when I come to your house tomorrow, Keisha said, waving goodbye and smiling. Did you like the story? What was the story all about? Do you think the story has something to do with what we are going to learn in science today? Then let's find out what we are going to learn about in science. We are going to learn about weather. We are going to know the different types of weather and the weather symbols. What is the weather like today? Can you go and check your window and see what is the weather like today? Is weather important? Well, weather is an important part of our lives on Earth. People often look outside to see what the weather is before they begin their day. Whenever we observe the weather, it can help us or give us clue what to dress up for the day, or plan activities, or prepare for a storm. What do you think is the weather like in this video? If you say it's raining, then you are right. How about here on the next one? If you say that it's cloudy, then you are right. How about here? What do you think is the weather like? Windy? Great! How about this one? Snowy weather? Great! We experience this weather here in UAE. Why? Why not? Now let's see the next one. What was the weather like? When you see lightning in the sky, do you think it's gonna be a sunny day? If you think there's a storm coming or a heavy rain coming, then you were right. Now let's see the next one. What do you think is the weather like? With the bright sun shining. It is sunny. Sun. The sun is a star made of burning gas. The sun gives us daylight and it also gives us heat. When it is a sunny day, you can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Rainy. When you see very dark clouds in the sky, they are carrying lots of tiny drops of water. When some of these drops of water fall from the clouds to the ground, it is raining. Cloudy. Clouds are made up of lots of tiny drops of water. Clouds can be different in shapes and sizes. You can also have different colored clouds. Some clouds are white and some can be gray. Lightning. Lightning is a large flash of electricity that goes all the way from the sky to the ground. You normally see lightning during a thunderstorm. You may see a flash of lightning and then hear a thunder. Snow. Snow is soft, white ice crystals that fall from the sky. They can form a layer of white snow on the ground. If it is too cold, it will not snow, but there might be ice. Windy. You cannot see wind because it is just moving air. However, you can see the effect the wind has on different objects. You can see leaves and tree branches blowing in the wind. The speed and direction of the wind can be measured. Rainbow. Rainbows appear when it is sunny in one part of the sky and raining in another. The 7 colors of the rainbows are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Foggy. Fog is made up of lots of tiny drops of water. It is like a cloud, but instead of being in the sky, it is just above the ground. When it is a foggy day, it can be hard to see what is around you. Now, weather symbols. Now, why do you think it is important for us to know the weather symbols, or how do you think these weather symbols help us? Weather symbols helps us to know what the weather is going to be like. It helps us to plan out our days. We want to know how warm to dress, if we should bring an umbrella, or if it will be a good day for a picnic. Now, let's take a look at this map. By looking at this map and the weather symbols, what do you think will the weather be like in Birmingham? If you say it's going to be sunny, then you were right. How about in Carlisle? If you say it's going to be cloudy, then you were right. How about the weather in Isle of Mull? If you say it's going to be rainy, then you were right. How about in Norwich? Yes, it's going to be sunny in Norwich. Now, in your CISA learning, you're going to refer to the weather forecast map on the left and then read the questions on the orange box and then match the correct answers.